What you are about to hear is highly classified. Pay attention and listen at all times. And most importantly, remember, whether it's Lois and Clark or Peter and MJ, love is in the air. Now, Nick, Brian, don't screw it up. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now entering Zone 4. And welcome back to the Zone. I'm Brant.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jay.
And this is episode 426 of Zone 4, your favorite Friday night, Friday morning, whenever this goes up. Comic podcast, weekly.
Friday-ish.
Sometimes later. Last week.
Sometimes live. Sometimes
not at all.
Well, we haven't actually missed a week yet, to be fair. I mean, hey.
Yeah, that's true. So, there we go. Anyway, I don't even know. I keep saying the same. I got to get new material for these openings.
See, this is what happens when Brant starts doing the intro, because I remember before Brant started doing the intro again, it was Ron that did it. I think John did. Did John ever do an intro for Zone 4? I could swear I remember him doing an intro.
Maybe once or twice. Not often. Not like regularly.
No, Gordon never did. I mean, what do you call it? Ron always, I feel like after you introduced, Ron always introduced the number.
Yeah, he did. He just kind of took over after the names for that little part of the intro, yeah. So, and we used to, back in the early days, we used to make fun of whoever didn't show up. Like, if somebody missed a week, we just like make some weird, bizarre reason why they didn't show up. I don't know.
Chris got eaten by Megalodon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's me.
Or like, or like, I don't know.
Chris is the Invisible Woman.
Surfboarding in the Antarctic. Yeah, Chris is the Invisible Woman, and he's we made that joke.
All of a sudden, I feel pretty.
Chris, you were very pretty when Jesse was here, and you missed the casting call. You became the Invisible Woman.
Yeah,
it worked. You got to go listen to this. Did you ever listen to it, Chris? That episode?
Did I? No, I listened to the other one.
Dude,
I gotta listen to that.
Jay sings. Jay sings in that episode. You sing songs.
I didn't sing. I spoke with rhythm.
I can't believe you didn't listen to that one.
Not in tone. You heard me sing, you'll know the difference. I do not sing well. I love singing. I just don't sing well. And I admit that. I own it. I'm not Brant.
I just got a message from Lisa asking me, do I have any idea what color I want the energy on the last page? She's coloring the last number right now.
I would say, honestly, could I put my 2 cents in? I felt like
sure.
A blue would be cool.
I was thinking blue too, because it is, yeah.
Right, because lightning's always like a yellow, so I would think blue would be really cool, like a shade of blue with like a lighter blue in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Which of course changes the colors that I platted, but I mean, hey.
I was going to suggest the same thing just because my favorite color is blue.
There you go.
Oh, same here, though. Look at that. 3 people say blue, so it shall be done.
Yep. I typed.
You heard it here on Zone 4.
You heard it here on Zone 4, and I typed to her, maybe like a white blue since it's electric.
And then watch when the book comes out, it'll be purple.
It'll be yellow.
And if it's purple, if it's purple or yellow, Lisa's the one that made the decision. Like, you guys are crazy. No way.
It's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie.
Hey, there's a Flash cover. There's a Flash cover I absolutely had to get. I think it was actually for the latest issue where it's the variant with Wally and Barry, and Wally has the left side and it's blue energy, blue lightning, and Barry's on the right side with the orange yellow energy, and it's kind of like got like a yin yang. Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Jay, you know what I'm talking about.
That was issue number 51. That would have been my cover of the week. Last week if we still did it.
Brant's looking it up to see what it looks like.
Yeah, because I think I might have seen it. I just don't remember it.
Yeah,
it's on my comic book wall now.
Because his Wally's energy now is the silver bluish color,
right?
While Barry's is traditional Flash color. So yeah.
Yeah, that probably would have been my cover of the week too. I think Wonder Woman. Did that come out the same week? Yeah, it did. Because I really like that cover. But I don't think I did see this one actually.
Yeah, there's something about on the Flash covers lately. Like
the variants, especially.
Yeah, the variants. Yeah,
very good.
They're really good. That one that you liked, I forget which issue it was. That had like all the different Flash heads, kind of.
Yeah.
The only reason I didn't like that one was because one of the Flash heads, all you could see was his top teeth, and it just looked like this huge, like horse-like overbite. Weird looking.
Best news. Midtown put up the previews for November. We officially have every single one of the Chromium covers pre-ordered.
Of course you do.
Hey, it's DC. And they were only $1 to $2 each because it's 35% off. So it goes with the Superman comic that Kat got me that I love.
Yeah. That's cool.
So it works perfect.
That's cool. By the way, we were going to have another guest on the show, but he told us nope.
Yep, so, he literally went nope.
Yeah, so thanks, Michael. I'm calling you out.
Michael.
That's all right. We don't need to be uncomfortable with him in boxers.
That's right. That's true. Even though it's an audio show. Yeah.
It's
anyway.
still awkward.
It is. Because we know. Speaking of knowing, we know that we are proud members of the Comics Podcast Network. You can find us on comicspodcasts.com. Thank you. Each and every episode, along with a plethora of other podcasts that are not Zone 4. So listen to Zone 4, all the Zone 4 episodes on there before you listen. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, listen to us first.
Wow.
I'm being a little full of myself. I'm sorry.
That's a lot of damage.
We're in rare form tonight. I'm sorry. No, go check out all the other shows because there's a ton of shows over there, and there's some shows that I listen to over there as well. So check it out. Anyway, all right. So how about we talk?
Actually, something just hit me when you said that. I'm sorry for interrupting you. Just really quick.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
Amazon and several other like XM and stuff have these little devices where literally you could be like Alexa and then pick something to play. Wouldn't it be cool if there was an app created that literally you could put your own like iTunes kind of, where literally you could have like an XM kind of thing, but not with radio music, unless of course some podcasts do use music like as a commercial or whatever, but where you could literally have any podcast you want. Like literally you could say, for example, Alexa, play Zone 4 episode there, or whatever the streaming service is. That would be sick.
Whatever
episode 426, for example, that just starts up.
Alexa and all does that. If you have your
podcasts,
they have it for because like Spotify has podcasts. You can select podcasts on Spotify. So if you go on Spotify, you can
do I have Echo Spotify?
Your Spotify account doesn't support streaming on this device.
See? Oh, I have to connect it, don't I?
Interesting.
And,
this is interesting.
I wish we could figure out, and this is probably illegal, so I'm not actually condoning this. I wish we could figure out like a hack to make anytime anybody searches for a podcast or downloads a podcast, it goes to Zone 4. Viral marketing.
It would have to be
Hey, they did it on Facebook until the government got in.
It would have to be Russian, Brant.
Yeah, I know, exactly. No, thank you. I don't need that headache.
We can get red from Orange Just the New Black.
Yeah, there you go. We'll basically smuggle us into the podcast network.
Whenever someone looks up like Kevin Smith's podcast or something.
Yeah.
Or, what's that other guy's name? The guy who was on No Phone, Adam Carolla?
Yeah.
Adam Carolla, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because his is like the most popular podcast in the world.
And I know Kevin Smith has to be up there with the podcast, too. And we'll take Will Wheaton, too.
Yeah.
Exactly. Search for Will Wheaton, get Zone 4.
Oh, wow. It works. Alexa, Echo, Spotify.
Your Spotify account doesn't support streaming.
Yes, it does. It just says right here, Alexa description. There you go. It says I'm connected. There must be an issue.
Alexa doesn't like
Maybe you need an update or something.
Maybe somewhere along the way, yeah. Maybe it needs a... All right.
Maybe Moto can do it. Hello, Moto. It's all I've heard all week.
Google Assistant. It's Google Assistant.
I don't have any of that stuff. All I know is that my phone must be listening to me because I understand like the algorithms and stuff that when you search for something, it starts popping up ads that are related to that. But when I just talk about something, all of a sudden, every device I have is popping up ads.
They're all listening to you all the time.
I know. It's freaky.
See, this is the motto. Zone 4 podcasts. Oh, it went Don't 4 podcasts. I want Zone 4. Relax, I'll say, what's the weather for Philadelphia?
It's 81 degrees and clear in Philadelphia.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
81 degrees and clear.
Echo.
Yes, Google.
What's the weather for today?
Currently, in Brooklyn, it's 81 degrees Fahrenheit with partly cloudy skies. Tonight, you can expect clear skies with a low of 75 degrees.
Well,
I have Cortana on my Windows phone.
It's amazing.
What?
It's
like
amazing. Literally, we don't even have to move. We're literally becoming like those people from the Wall-E movie where we're going to be fat and just float around and ask questions.
Well, I just shut mine off. I don't like to keep mine on. I only turned it on so I could do that, and then I shut it off because I don't like it listening to me.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I don't want my phone listening to me unless I want it to.
Phone. What's the weather?
If you have an Android, you should have the Google Assistant.
Yeah, I
should
know.
be on there.
I've never used it.
Yeah, you never activated it yet.
Nah.
I only did it and then I undid it. I just did it to see what it does.
Yeah.
Cortana's better.
Cortana's awesome. I like her on my computer.
Well, just since we know everybody's weather, it's 84 degrees here. Just throwing it out there.
It's still too hot here.
Yeah.
The humidity is high too.
I don't even want to talk about it, Jay.
I'm not talking about the humidity with you because I know your humidity is way higher than mine.
Yeah.
I know Texas. Like
So
down south, you have humidity.
Since we don't want to talk about the weather on Earth, how about we talk about the weather that's going on in space for Star Trek?
Segway.
Okay, sure. That's
right.
That's some kind of segue.
It's a segue. Take it.
That's
Yeah.
a segue from Chris's brain.
That is, yeah. It's that train that went off the track somewhere.
Absolutely no respect on this show.
Did
Just
you
remember
expect
in the
any?
comments that everybody
Have you
knows.
not met us before? Have you not spoken to us before?
I have no idea who these people are. They just brought me on this show and they were like, just sit there and talk. So that's what I'm doing. My name is Jeff.
Jeff. His name is Jeff Bezos. I own Amazon.
Amazon employee.
I searched for podcast and Zone 4 came up and then I was somehow on the show. I don't know.
They told me to talk.
I remember being blindfolded. I don't know where I'm at.
There's some dark web stuff going on.
I like some cake. Can I have some cake, please?
I wonder if Zone 4 is on the dark web. Anybody from the dark web, feel free to message or comment, Brad. Let us know if he's on the dark web.
Don't have people from the dark web contacting me. Are you crazy?
What? It's just dark. There's no light.
Anyway, talking about dark, space is very dark.
Space is very dark.
See, that's the better transition.
Yeah, I was going
much
to do that.
better
You
transition.
stole that from me, Jay.
Yeah, you stole it just like. Well, I'm not even gonna go there.
Yeah, we don't need to go there for the
Did I
16th
steal?
time.
What did I steal? I've never stolen anything in my life.
No, I know what Brad's about to say. I know what Brad's about to say, but we're not going to go there because that would make this another half
Because we're circling back to space. So go ahead, Jay.
Ooh, you guys.
Yesterday, it was yesterday, during Star Trek this week was Star Trek convention in Las Vegas. It's the biggest Star Trek convention of the year. Actors and all gather around all around the country for other shows and all that. This is the Star Trek convention. This is like San Diego Comic-Con for Star Trek conventions. And they had announced that there would be a special panel with a special announcement. And that was it. So a lot of people went there, and Heather Ferris from YouTube, people go check her out. She's been doing a lot of awesome live feeds from there. She did like a lot of live feeds. She showed you all around like different parts of it. So you can go check her out, Heather Harris on Ferris. I'm sorry, on YouTube. She was live streaming this panel, and they brought out a special guest, and it was the executive producer, I think, or showrunner, Alex Kurtzman of Star Trek Discovery. And he brought out a special guest because he was not supposed to be there. And it was just his first Star Trek convention. And then he brought out a special guest, which was also not supposed to be there, Patrick Stewart. Well, I should say Sir Patrick Stewart. Mm-hmm. And he came out and he told everybody, about how, back when he first auditioned, he didn't think he was going to get the job and all that, and he got the job, and it was very rewarding for him. He loved doing the show. He had so much fun, and then he went on to do movies, and when he got done, he thought he would be done with Star Trek, because people were like, oh, who wants to see Captain Picard in our movie, So he thought he was going to be done with Star Trek. And then he announced that they are working on a series for Jean-Luc Picard. He said he may or may not be a captain, but it will be set 20 years after the last movie, which is in real time. So exactly how many years has passed since the movie Nemesis is exactly how many years has passed since the show was started. So
shut up and take my money.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I'll take it.
But he's back. He was like Jean-Luc Picard is back, and it's going to be a different Jean-Luc Picard. We don't know where he's at in life, but we do know that he will be changed by the things that he's gone through in life.
Yeah.
So,
since we mentioned Will Wheaton earlier in the show, Will Wheaton actually commented on a tweet that Sir Patrick Stewart put out, and he says, "As your friend and former coworker, I am so incredibly excited for you. As a fan, I don't even have the words to express what this means to me." And I think that probably rings true for a lot of Star Trek fans, especially Next Generation fans.
Did he reply back, "Shut up, Wesley"?
No, he didn't, but he should have.
It would have been funny if he didn't even say it. If he would have just put the meme up, the GIF. Yeah. Shut up, Wesley. But when he first came out, he was getting the claps and everything. It was like after it started to slow down, one guy was like, "Holy!" Just screamed it out. And Patrick Stewart was like cracking up about it. And after he announced Jean-Luc Picard's back, the room stood up, applause everywhere. He got emotional from that response. Like, he got very emotional there. He was like, if no matter what happens over the next few years, he said that response will be worth it.
Yeah.
Like,
he's loved. Patrick Stewart's a loved actor.
Yeah. He's loved as Jean-Luc Picard. Even though his cast calls him Old Baldy. Like, if you have not heard Marina Sirtis at a Star Trek convention, please do yourself a favor and watch her. She is nothing like the NHL. Like, she is nothing like her character. She is. If you would say who's the most unlike their character, it would be Marina Sirtis. She just talks whatever she wants to say. She's called people ass. She's thrown people under the bus. It's fun. But, it was a big announcement. There's no other details. We don't know when it's going to be on. We don't know what the series is about. But
or where it's going to be?
We know that it's going to be set 20 years after Nemesis. That's all we know.
Channel-wise.
Oh, CBS All Access. It's going to be on CBS All Access. It's one of the other programs that they're working on. They're expanding the Star Trek universe. So you got Discovery. You're going to have that. You're going to have the short tracks, which are the 4 movies. The Discovery movie. Well, they're not movies. They're short tracks. They're little short films. They're like 15, 20 minutes long each one. And they would be like character-driven things. Like there's one about Mud. There's one about Tilly. There's one.
So basically, like little webisodes.
Yeah, they're little webisodes to hold you over. They'll be once a month in the fall. So from the fall to it will probably run from the end of the year. So like September to December, and then we're supposed to get the next season in January. So hopefully we get it, and hopefully it doesn't take too long for the Patrick Stewart one to come out. But what do you guys think that could be about? Like, where you think it would be? Where you think it would be about?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, because I'm not the hugest Star Trek fan, so I'm not sure where it left off. I did watch a good amount of Next Generation, but I know there was a movie that kind of wrapped things up. Yeah.
The last movie, Riker and Deanna were transferred to, I forgot what the name of the ship was.
The USS Titan. They didn't change for her. It was his new ship. Riker is a captain now. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Data is dead. He's now B4. But then you got the comic books and the online where Data came back. So, like, I don't know what timelines they're actually following. So that's another thing that we...
Oh, yeah, that's right. He did die.
Yeah, Data died. And B4 assumed... because they found another Noonian android, and it was named B4, but Data had transferred all his memories into B4, so it was essentially Data. Data comes back. Like, there's a lot that they can play off of that. But Picard related, I'm thinking like he could be a teacher at Starfleet Academy that could finally get the Starfleet Academy show that they've been like teasing for like 30 years now. They've been teasing the Star Trek Academy show.
Yeah.
So maybe we could get that, or at least I'll say 25 years because it was around because this 25th anniversary of Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
So around that time they've been doing the whole, Starfleet Academy tease. And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
William Shatner try to steal the Enterprise, do you?
I was just going to ask, do you think it'll be tied to Discovery? Or do you think it'll be just separate?
They could have. I think it's going to be separate because I think this is their apology to Prime Universe. Because there's a big debate on whether Star Trek Discovery is Prime. We know it's not Kelvin, okay? We know it's not that. But it's not Prime either. Even though they insist that Star Trek Discovery is Prime, the Klingons alone let you know that it's not Prime. Then you got the ships that are very different, and all kinds of things are different. And it's more than just this is a modern update. It's like they're just different. So we're not sure on where that timeline is. I consider it a third timeline. Like there's Discovery Prime timeline, and that's why I consider that. So I think they might loosely tie it into like maybe have Discovery pop into the future or something like that, or someone mentioned the Discovery on the Picard show. But I definitely think we're going to get Picard's going to be very grounded in the Prime universe, and this is my hope. And one thing I was thinking of today when I was thinking about it was it would be cool if he retires from Starfleet and he becomes the groundskeeper at Starfleet Academy, and he would be essentially Boothby from Star Trek, which is the groundskeeper who basically counseled every single major captain in Starfleet while they were at the Academy. Like he's counseled each and every one. He was the guy that everyone went to go talk to. He was just a groundskeeper, nothing special.
Now I have a question though. Wait, Discovery takes place before?
Yeah, this takes place right around the time the original pilot for the original series was. So the Cage. This is somewhere around the Cage.
Yeah, way before Next Generation. Yeah.
This is Kirk before Kirk.
I'd forgotten
before
that.
Kirk. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my question is, who takes over the Enterprise after Jean-Luc Picard? That would make me very interested.
Wheaton! No, I'm kidding.
No, actually, Wesley is, I believe he's the engineer on the Titan.
Oh, okay.
At least on the maiden voyage he was. And then in the comics and in Star Trek Online, I think it was Data was the captain of the Enterprise.
Interesting.
So, and Brett Spiner could reprise the role of Data even though he aged, because in the episode where he created his daughter, they did mention that Data has the ability to show his age, like to age.
Oh.
And, change his appearance. They did establish that way back when he created his daughter, the one who died, and he said that he has the ability to age. Even though he will never die of old age. He can show the age,
Right.
and so they can just say he's adapted his programming and he's actually aging.
Yeah. Interesting. It'll be interesting to see what they do with it. Like I said, the only Star Trek that I really ever watched any amount of was Next Generation. I mean, I watched some of the original too, but Next Generation was on late at night, and I'm a night person, and even when I didn't have like a lot of channels, I would just like have Star Trek Next Generation playing. And so
it was on Fox.
Yeah,
it was on Fox, I think.
Yeah. So I watched a good amount of that just by having something on. So, but I never religiously watched it and watch it in order or anything. So
I never watched it in order. I will say that. I watched it after it went off the air, I believe, at least.
I constantly have it on loop. I watch all of them from. I start off with the original series, then I go into the animated series, and then I go to Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and what's the name?
Voyager was cool because they had Riker in that at the end.
But
that was the worst part of Voyager. That was absolutely the worst part of Voyager. And that wasn't Voyager. That was Enterprise you're talking about. That was the worst part of
Voyager.
Enterprise.
When Q allows her to reach out to Starfleet when they're lost. When you see William Riker.
Oh, that wasn't near the end. That was just like a random episode.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry then.
Deanna Troi played in a couple of them, and what's his name? Barclay played in a couple of them too. But Riker was in the finale of Enterprise, which was like the worst way to do a finale. They basically said like the last episode was all just a holodeck program, so they didn't it was Enterprise. The Next Generation ended Enterprise's series, which was a bad way to do it. But but if this show goes through, we can actually have the Rikers, Counselor Troy and now it should be Counselor Riker and Captain Riker appear on it with the Titan. And also news with them, he will be directing another episode of the Orville this season. And Marina Sirtis will be in it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. That's
pretty cool. That show, though, made me a fan of Sir Patrick Stewart. And then I saw him in Christmas Carol.
Oh,
he was so good. That's my favorite version because of him. And then when they cast him as Professor X, it was like, oh my god, this is perfect.
That was my ultimate fan cast when talking about Professor X. It's Patrick Stewart. As soon as I saw him, I was like, that has to be Professor X in the David X-Men movie.
Yeah.
When he was originally named as Captain Jean-Luc Picard, the magazines that all ran it named him as an unknown British Shakespearean actor.
Wow.
He was good. I saw his Shakespeare.
Because that's what he was. He was like
he was a stage actor. Yeah.
And he tried out, and they wanted him to wear a wig.
I'm glad he didn't.
God.
They did test footage with him with a wig. They had a special wig made for him and everything. They had a makeup person come in and put it on him and do everything. He did the test screen with the audition with it on, and then they said, "Okay, you got the job and all that, but you're not wearing the wig." So he went through all that trouble to get the wig on and everything, and they didn't want to let the thing.
I need to see a picture of this.
Yeah, he's told the story like thousands of times, like at conventions. They wanted him with the wig on. They wanted because they didn't think a bald captain would work.
Well, they were wrong.
And
Yeah.
that the new, if you watch the pre-show, there's a little callback here. The new thing in Urban Dictionary that I didn't know was actually an Urban Dictionary entry. I knew the saying, but do you know what the opposite of jump the shark is?
No, what?
A Riker's beard.
Huh.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's the opposite of jumping the shark. It's when a show gets better after a character gets the facial hair.
Yeah, that's right. That's
You can
right. The
tell-
whole first season, Riker didn't have a beard, and then the second one he did, and it started picking up.
Third season.
Was it third season?
Yeah,
Oh.
third season. he
That
got
is
the beard.
funny.
And you can see the difference in the quality. And they said other shows have done it too, and it's become a thing, and it's defined as a Riker's beard. You look up Riker's beard, it will be in the Urban Dictionary as the opposite of jumping the shark. Or if you just look up opposite of jumping the shark, it's Riker's beard.
That's funny. I would be curious to see what other shows did that too now.
Yeah,
'Cause-
that's what I wanted to see too. I didn't look it up yet, but they were mentioning it on there, and I was like, I knew the phrase, Riker's beard. It's it's the thing in Star Trek fandom that we all know what it is. I just never knew it was actually on Urban Dictionary.
Right. That's hilarious. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing actually.
That's awesome.
So you're telling me that if we all Chris
If
half the
Cat grew a
time
beard-
Chris is
I
the
was
only
about
one
to
who has
say-
to have the beard.
Chris half the time has a beard, and you and I have at
I
least
have a beard right
some
now.
version of a beard. so
Hey, I could grow a Riker beard.
so by definition, this show should be better always, but. We
It is.
just need to grow our beards longer, and then the show will be just
We just
gold.
have to grow Riker beards. That's what
Yeah.
we need.
We
Riker
need to get
beards.
Mike Spider Slayer, like Chris said, Cat, to grow a beard, and Frontline Live will be better.
Cat will just wear. You know what? Cat can wear those knitted hats that have the beards attached to them, the wool beards. Have you ever seen those?
No,
No,
but I'm sure she has those kind of hats because she is a hipster. and
She's a
everything.
hipster.
Yeah, so she probably does that. Or she can go ask those people down the block.
She
with
can
the
get a
headless-
hipster beard.
She
There
can
you
go
go.
ask the headless people, the people with the headless mannequins in front of their house. If they have those hats, I'm sure they do.
I'm glad you clarified that because I was like, headless people. What are you
I'm
talking
sorry.
about?
I
She
corrected
can go get the
myself.
headless people.
She can go find the headless horseman down the block.
Speaking of headless people,
Oh, there's a house around my neighborhood where they have not a headless mannequin, Chris, but they have one of those giant Barbie doll things that dresses up. They dress it up in their window all the time now.
that's creepy.
See, that's what happens for making fun of Cat. Now I'm gonna go look around
Yeah.
my neighborhood and find somebody like that.
It's just like a giant Barbie doll that they dressed up for. Like right now, it's in like a bathing suit and it has like what's the name? What are those things?
Those are the
things
kind of
you wear
people you
around
don't go over.
The
You do not
tubes,
go
the
to their
tubes you
house.
wear, the safety tube.
You don't
What?
even ring their doorbell for sugar.
What are you talking about? The tube?
Who knows?
I
Yeah,
don't
the
know what you're
safety
even
tube.
talking about.
The floaty tube.
Oh.
that you wear around
Floating
you.
tube,
I couldn't think of the actual name of it. I know there's an actual name of it.
not the lightsabers, the straight ones,
The
right?
Just the blow up ones that you buy at like Target or whatever.
the little rings that go around your.
No, not the wings.
Not
one that
the
goes
wings, the
around your
rings.
waist.
I said ring,
Yeah.
not the ones on your arms.
Yeah.
But yeah, the one around your waist.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
That was
Just a
weird.
simple blow-up.
Zoom told me my internet connection was no good.
Your internet connection is no good.
Hey, my internet connection is way better than yours.
We are almost at our. We're gonna have to stop this one and start doing it.
This is all the internet's fault. You people keep wanting more, and we keep giving you more. See how much we give of ourselves.
All
All right.
right, Chris gives about 20%.
Yeah, maybe 15.
What? What?
Nothing.
I'm about 15% giving when you want me to watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Rising.
We'll talk about that on a future episode. Now,
Yeah, unfortunately, we're going to talk about that on a future episode of Zone 4. Aren't you happy to watch me be tortured? But the brand just wants to make money off of me suffering.
yes, Always. That's the best way to make money. No, I'm kidding. If,
I know. I hope you
You're
are.
trying to make money off of yourself suffering.
exactly. If there's any choppiness, if there's any choppiness in this show, we need more patrons so we can buy this program instead of using this free version that keeps cutting us off in the middle of our conversation.
Join the patron today and get a really awesome pre-show or commercial show or post-show.
You can hear about Jay's tattoos.
And you'll find out what his signs are.
Yeah. Find out about astrology. We can find out about astronauts. So we can find out all kinds of space stuff.
Stuff about Shaquille O'Neal that you'd never see anywhere else.
Yeah. So good stuff. Check out the pre-show. All right. So anyway, we were talking about heads coming off, and
let's see. Wait, I want to see this transition now. I want to see this. I want to see where your head. I know which one he's doing.
I know what he's doing too now. It just hit me.
Infinity Wars of Prime, which was the last before this one. We and this is spoiler alert for anybody out there that hasn't read these yet.
Spoiler
alert. Lord. Yes, let us take a moment to just stop everyone.
Let's see. If you're not right,
wee woo. Wait. Even better. Echo. Red alert.
There we go.
And it'll keep going until I say, Echo, stop.
Nice. Oh, man. So what were you going to say, Jay?
I was to say, spoiler alert for anyone who has not read Infinity Wars Prime, Infinity Wars #1, or
anything Infinity War related.
Yeah. Or have not seen, because we're also going to be talking later of the death of Superman. So if you have not seen that, or you have not read that book that was 20 plus years ago, spoiler alert.
Superman dies.
Oh no! You spoiled it for me.
Anyway. No, I'm sorry.
So in Infinity Wars Prime, Thanos lost his head, and we were introduced to it. Yeah, literally. His head was cut off. Let's be clear.
And then Gamora sold the body to the people down the block.
You're not supposed to say that yet. Anyway, I'm trying to lead up.
He's trying to play the timeline out.
Yes. So we were introduced to this new character named Requiem, and that's who chops Thanos' head off. Okay, so that brings us up. What the heck?
Chris had a pop.
So that brings us up to present with Infinity Wars issue #1, which came out on August 1st. Yeah, I can't remember what date it was. Anyway, so that's the book. Yeah.
Sorry, Brian. Just as a little prequel to that. Yeah. If you read the Infinity
Countdown.
Then I'm sorry.
If you read it then, you saw Requiem building the armor.
Yes.
Yeah, while having the troll build the armor for her.
So for some reason, Chris thought Requiem was a guy, and I don't know why. It's clearly a girl the whole time.
I would say the preview art showed a male figure.
Okay.
They did.
Okay. They were probably
keeping art was very male.
Well, yeah, they were going to keep the shock secret.
Yeah, they were keeping it tight-lipped, just like they did Ronin. You remember Ronin?
Yeah.
It looked like a guy like forever, and then you take it off and it's Echo, and it's like, what?
And then all of a sudden, a figure appears and breasts pop up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely a woman now. It's like,
if she could have talked, she would have said, "I had a lot of tape."
Yeah, I strapped down really hard. Like
that's one of her superpowers. She can inflate and deflate. I don't know. We're going in weird places, so let's leave that one alone.
I'm letting you guys go to that one by yourselves. I'll wait for you to come back.
Yeah. So anyway, Infinity Wars Prime, we get the shocking reveal of who Requiem is. And we get
Requiem doesn't get revealed to Infinity Wars #1.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Infinity Wars #1. We get the reveal of who Requiem is, and we get a second major death. So these are two big issues, and I thought we should talk about these two big issues in this issue. I got issues. Anyway, so I didn't know who Requiem was. I had suspicions, but I wasn't sure. But anyway, so turns out Requiem
character.
Yeah, turns out Requiem, which Chris already spoiled, is Gamora.
Yeah, I knew as soon as they said it was supposed to be like the feat of Thanos, I was like, it has to be Gamora. It's the only thing
it's set up to be Gamora.
It is, well, of course. Yeah. It is set up to be Gamora, and especially when you look at the beginning of this issue, and she's like, we've already seen the Guardians kind of implode, and they're apart, and you see her kiss Peter goodbye when she walks off because he won't.
And she tells him, "Don't come to the Infinity Watch.
Don't come to the summit, the Infinity Watch summit." Yeah. Because he won't help her get the Soul Gem open to get that missing piece of her, and that's all she's been about for a long time now. Throughout the Guardian series, before it was canceled and everything, she's all about the Soul Gem, and all through Countdown. And he wouldn't help her because weird evil things coming out of the Soul Gem, and so we get to the summit, to the Infinity Watch, which. We're going to be talking about this book on a Frontline. Well, actually, it would have already aired. So go check out Frontline Live. I'm sure we talked about it there in depth. But I thought it was a pretty solid issue. But the reveal that it was Gamora wasn't completely shocking because we know she's been literally gunning for Thanos' head, and now she's got it. But the major death at the end was unexpected. And again, spoiler. It's Peter Quill, Star-Lord.
And that's why Guardians are not coming back.
Yeah. But the interesting thing about it is what she says to him right before she plunges that sword in his chest, which is, Peter, nothing ever dies. Or nothing ever stays dead. Nothing ever dies or nothing ever stays dead. I can't remember the exact verbiage, but it was something to that.
Nothing ever stays dead, I think she said.
Yeah, so that was interesting. Obviously, if she got all the Infinity Stones, she could rewrite reality and bring him back. That's kind of a no-brainer. But you don't know who's going to get all the stones. You've got this weird Loki thing going on. You've got the Infinity Watch now, and for some reason, Turk from the Netflix shows is a major player in the Marvel Universe now.
Yeah, and he still looks like he's a pimp from the 1970s.
Yeah.
With the hat and the coat and the cane.
Yeah, but he's got a whole entourage now of C-listers to back him up.
I gotta admit, though, I loved what's his name? Daredevil's main guy.
What, King?
Bullseye.
Bullseye.
No, Bullseye.
Yeah, Bullseye was funny.
Bullseye and Groot and Rocket. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, that scene, I was cracking up when he was like...
he was cracking up. He was like, he's got a gun. It's a raccoon in a tree with a gun. And a tree talks.
And he was like, oh, crap, they talk.
And Rocket was like, I hate this planet. That was hilarious.
He was like, hey, this planet is the best planet in the universe.
Yeah, that was some funny stuff.
Those three... They work so well together. Even though I hate that Groot talks.
Oh, I do too.
Because he's such a...
Yeah, exactly. He's one of those. Chris, did you read this?
I have not yet, but it's okay.
Oh, okay.
I already knew about... Problem was, the Gamora thing was all over Twitter. The Peter Quill thing, the only reason I found out about that was because I didn't want to be that far behind with Zone 4, so I figured if I didn't read the book, at least I'd find out about that. So that I found out on the website that you shared the link with. Other than that, I already knew about Gamora. I mean, it was like everywhere. Everyone was talking about it.
Yeah. Well, again,
and I don't want to sound like a jerk, but when it comes to Marvel events, I don't care anymore. I don't care if I get spoiled. I'll read it. I'm reading it. I will read it. It is on my read list, but I don't mind that it was spoiled. It's okay.
Honestly, this one, I mean, Countdown and all the stuff leading up to it, except for Darkhawk, and there was one other book that I think I enjoyed. Oh, the Champions tie-ins.
Yeah, those were good.
Yeah, the Champions tie-ins and Darkhawk I thought were good, but everything else, Infinity Wars, bored
I like the Captain
crap
Marvel.
out of me. The Life of Captain Marvel?
No.
Oh,
It was a Captain Marvel one-shot.
That was so bad. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I didn't care for it either.
It's like, what did I do in this universe? What did I do in this universe?
That was boring to me. I'm surprised you liked it, Chris, but that's cool.
I thought it was okay. I didn't say anything about loving it. I thought it was okay.
That's fine.
The rest I thought was garbage.
Yeah, just nothing was grabbing me. But then when I read Prime, and the art changed and the story got intense, and it was like, okay, this has got my attention now. And then I read this issue, and it's like, whoa, obviously it's an Infinity thing, and again, we already established that reality's probably going to get rewritten somehow, just like the movie that everybody freaked out about. But it's still interesting from a storytelling perspective.
You mean the movie that is obviously because everybody has contracts for another sequels?
Exactly.
that was like that was the least cliffhanger. Like, that was the least, like, oh my god thing.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you're not a hardcore comic fan and don't know this, or you're not a hardcore movie fan
on social media,
or yeah, that's true. But there are some people out there that just don't know, and that was probably really interesting for them. But for all of us, it's like, we know what's up.
Yeah, if you can't figure out like that the biggest movie of the year so far still is the movie that is not going to have a sequel. If you don't think that that's going to have a sequel, then okay, you can expect that Happy Till is okay.
Yeah, exactly. So, what do you guys think about Peter Quill and Thanos biting it? I mean, aside from the obvious, I mean, what do you think? Like, for this story, what does that do for this story?
I think that I think there's a little bit more. With Countdown, we got to see Ant-Man again. I think Gamora is going to get the Soul Stone, and instead of getting her soul back,
that's still called the Soul Gem here.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Soul Gem.
True.
They call some of them gems and some of them stones now. The Soul Gem is still called the Soul Gem.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think Ant-Man somehow is going to be brought back through this event.
I think
Hank Pym, for those who...
Yeah, Hank Pym.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, Hank Pym. I see possibly Peter coming back and being different because of what happened, and that's why we won't see the Guardians again and why we're getting Asgardians. Oh, yeah, that's what I say. And I just feel like Gamora, by the end of this arc, is going to be on the run. It's kind of like, remember Original Sin?
Yeah.
It's going to be something like that, where now
I think
Nick Fury Sr. is up being the new Watcher until they decide to bring the Watchers back. And now Gamora is going to be on the run. Maybe she'll stay as Requiem and not be, she'll be like an anti-hero for a while.
I think she's going to be reunited with her soul.
You think she'll get her soul back too?
Darker. It's going to make her darker, yeah.
Oh, you think it's going to make her darker? Okay. That could be an interesting twist. Yeah, because something has happened in the Soul Gem where everything's just kind of dark and evil, and that could definitely play into it. Yeah.
Her soul's corrupting Soul World.
World. Yeah. So we're going to see evil Gamora. Gamora is basically going to take the place of Thanos. And
That's what I think. I think she's going to be there for a while. That's why the Guardians won't be united.
Yeah.
Not because Peter died, but because Gamora is, one of their own has gone that far.
So the question is, does Peter stay dead for a while, or does he come back at the end of this event?
He'll come back by the end of the event, I think.
You think so?
The next one. So another 2 months after the event is over.
Yeah.
Agreed. He's not going to stay dead. They had Gamora basically say death is not forever. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I tend to agree with that.
Back, then kill him again.
Yeah. I tend to agree with that. It's just interesting that this time around, it's not a villain going after the gauntlet. Basically, it's a hero in a way. Yeah, which is an interesting twist on it. Now the stuff with the Lokis, I don't know how that's going to play into it, but that's the least
Something
interesting.
about rewriting history.
Yeah,
That's just low key.
That could be how the. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say it's because of the movie. Go ahead, Jay. Sorry.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's going to explain that they could use this to explain the inconsistencies in timeline. You know, how it's always like, hey, this happened, then no, it never happened. You know,
yeah,
like they can actually explain it that someone's been messing with time, sort of like what DC did with Dr. Manhattan. You know, said someone's been screwing with time. Loki is going to find it because in the beginning of the issue, he says, you know, like, this isn't how I remember things. It's been changed.
Right.
That could even be the reason how the Fantastic Four come back.
It could be. Well, I guess we will find that out soon. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, interesting stuff. I think it's an interesting story. I hope that it holds water for the duration of it and it doesn't fall apart.
Me too. So. Me too. That's the big thing. The events start off strong, and then it's like, you know, it just falls.
Yeah, that's the way it has been with Marvel events.
Like by the end, you're just like, yes, just please end it. Put it out of its misery. Like it's like Heroes. A Marvel event is like Heroes, a TV series.
Yeah,
it starts off really strong, and then by the end, you're glad that it's over.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You just put it out of its misery.
Yeah, but
that's where Marvel event is.
But the problem is Marvel has the next season already set up for events right after it.
Well, that's Heroes Reborn.
I mean, we literally have like 5 events in, what is it, next month or is it September? There's like 5 events 1 month.
Somebody is getting a call.
That
was very loud.
That must have been Chris. She probably has his phone on.
Sorry, I got a phone call. I'll be right back. Give me a second.
I just literally said that.
I know you did, but I was on the phone and didn't know you said that.
He doesn't listen to you.
He just said, not me. Anyway.
I didn't say not me. I said I went on the phone.
Oh. All right. Well, maybe not put the phone by the microphone.
I'm sorry. I'm going now. I'll be right back.
All right. So, speaking of Death of Superman gets a prequel. Or got
you're going to do this when I walk away, really?
Yes. Got a prequel.
You didn't walk away yet.
Exactly. Digital first prequel that came out on August 1st as well. And now we're getting the air conditioner.
I'm sorry. Better?
I swear. This is what it's like to do a show with Chris.
Oh, no, it's not!
These are never before told stories of what happened before, during, and after the conflict with Doomsday that cost Superman his life. Doing a little quote from the article and from Simonson there. Interesting that they're revisiting this. Of course, you know that's a big thing right now. You've got the animated movie.
Into the animated movie,
right? The animated movie.
This isn't tied into the actual comic book. This is tied into the animated movie. Just so people know.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that. So yeah, if you're wanting to see that movie, you should go check this out and read it first.
Yeah, this one. For those who have not read it, spoiler alert again. Just want to say that.
Echo, red alert. Sorry, go ahead.
I want to give you a spoiler alert. And what happened? I thought it was actually going off.
I did too.
She said thanks. She didn't hear him right.
Echo, red alert.
No, she didn't go on this time. Try again.
Echo. Red alert.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Ooh.
Fine. I don't know you. Go ahead, Jay.
Let's see if I can do it. Echo. Red alert. Didn't even hear me say.
Just say red alert again.
Red alert.
She went off.
Echo doesn't like us, Jay.
Echo.
Screw you, Echo.
Red alert.
I don't need you.
I didn't ask for notifications.
Echo's broken.
Echo.
Echo's like, I got other things to do. I don't need you guys.
Wow, Amazon.
So yeah, if for those who haven't read it, again, spoiler alert. This takes, and if you haven't seen the movie, it's right after the asteroid hits the spaceship, and Henshaw is killed in it. His wife, Superman, saves his wife, and he explains that the reason why he wasn't there for her is because he was doing something else and he didn't hear it. But he felt the impact, so he went out there. He saved his wife, brought her down, and then he had to go take on Metallo. And then by the end of the issue, he hears another thing, and it's Parasite calling him out. So
Oh, shoot, I thought that was Metallo.
No, Metallo was in this issue.
Yeah, you read number 2. You read chapter.
No, I'm saying at the end of this issue, Parasite is yelling for Superman.
Right.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you. Yeah. In the beginning, it was Hank Henshaw, then it went to Metallo.
Yeah,
then
it was right at the. It was right at the crash. What happened?
Right.
He rescued the wife, and then it went right into Metallo fight. That was most of the issue. And
Right.
then after that, at the end of it, the Parasite escaped Bellreeve and told Superman he's, one state over or something like that. Come get me, or I'm going to eat everyone in Bellevue. So I'm going to feed off of everyone in Bellevue. So Superman has to go take on that. So I'm hoping this isn't the, hey, HSU is a different villain from Superman's Rogue Gallery. I don't want that.
I hope so too. But I did like the first issue. I will say that. I like that they dropped the seeds for Cyborg Superman.
Oh yeah, they definitely did. Especially every time they wrote the word cyborg, it was in bold print.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of a hint, people, for those who don't know.
Right.
I actually asked Jay for a list of the movies that happened after. Forgot what movie it was. After Batman Harley Quinn, because I want to finish my DC movie collection because I think I counted 6 or 7 movies missing from my collection. Not saying I didn't watch them. They're just missing as far as the Blu-ray DVD copy.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to catch up.
Gotcha. I'm missing a few. I haven't seen. We're getting a total sidetrack. I haven't seen Dark Knight movies yet. I don't think, and there's something else.
Oh no, I meant just the animated movies.
That's what I'm talking about too.
There's a Dark Knight. There's the Dark Knight. 1 and 2. Part 1 and Part 2.
Oh, the Frank Miller one. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Parts 1 and Part 2. If you didn't see this one, Brant, this one was a good one. In my ranking, this is my second favorite DC animated movie.
Oh wow.
Death you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, people have been sharing clips of that all night last night on YouTube. I can't wait to watch this movie.
Very good. It's very good. Even though it is set in the New 52 DC animated universe.
It doesn't feel that way. At least not the clips I saw. It doesn't feel that way.
Parts of it does, because you do have the acknowledgement that that Wonder Woman and Superman were in a relationship. Like, they do acknowledge that. They do mention it.
They brought the Kents? I saw they brought the Kents back.
Well, the Kents never left in this new universe. They never mentioned them. So it wasn't, in the universe, they never mentioned that the Kents were dead in this universe.
I'm going to stop talking now, by the way, because I just realized I've only seen clips and Brand hasn't seen anything, so I'm going to stop talking.
Well, I'm sure he knows that because Kat mentioned that.
Okay.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, she mentioned that the best part that she liked was.
I'm hoping when Doomsday Clock's over, they kind of do the same thing with the Kents. Oh, yeah, they just weren't talked about, but they're there.
Yeah, they just they just weren't. No, in the comic books, they were definitely said that they were dead. And but
I mean like a retcon kind of after.
Oh yeah. I hope they fix it. But in the animated universe, they never actually said anything about the Kent. So when you see them, they don't have to explain it.
I always hated that Brainiac story arc where Jonathan died of the heart attack. I was like, no. I knew when Smallville did it, I was like, oh, Smallville killed Jonathan Kent. The comics are going to follow right behind. Not even a year later, they followed right behind.
Yeah. I like the first installment, first chapter, and if we go by the way DC normally goes by it, this will be collected after like the first 3 chapters or something. It will be collected in print, or maybe they'll wait till the whole thing. Maybe they'll wait till the whole thing is out and then release it just as one set because they've done that before. So
I hope they do because I want the trade for sure.
Cool.
I'm sure they will because they like to get the printed version out too. So
yeah, very true. All right, and Superman will reappear in just a second because it's topic time.
Topic time.
It's topic time.
That was terrible.
Segway.
That was like so low key. I was just like,
You like, and Superman will return.
Superman will return.
yeah, it was like almost like the cut to a commercial. Superman will return right at the
What a Reba!
Like if like this is like the Marty. I mean the what's the day called?
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, this is Cinco de Mayo episode. That would be a little bit better.
Or a Looney Tunes episode.
Yeah, a Looney Tunes episode.
Andale.
Yippa!
All right. So anyway, for topic time, we are talking about a couple of books. One from DC. Well, actually, 3 books from DC and Marvel.
4 books.
4 issues,
3
3 books.
Yeah, 4
3
issues,
titles.
It's 3 titles. Superman, #1, Action Comics 1001, and the first 2 issues of Amazing Spider-Man, because all these books were taken over by new creative teams, and we were already talking about Superman, so we're tying it all in together. So Brian Michael Bendis took over the Superman titles. Everybody knows this. We're going to talk about those first 2 issues, not counting Man of Steel, of course. And we're going to talk about Nick Spencer and Ryan Ottley's Amazing Spider-Man issues 1 and 2, or 802 and 803 if you prefer. All right, so we'll just continue on with Superman, since we're already talking about Superman. And let's discuss Superman #1 because it came out first.
All right, and for those who don't know, this is basically the follow-up of the Clark and Lois story and Jonathan story from Man of Steel.
Man of Steel, yeah.
Jonathan and Lois have went off with Jor-El, and Clark is left behind, and he lost the only way that he can communicate with them, and now he's dealing with life without them. And at the end, he realizes, spoiler alert, the whole Earth is within the Phantom Zone.
Yep.
So they're bringing back the villain that everybody already forgot about from Man of Steel, Rogol
Rogol-Zar.
Rogaine. Or as Tevia likes to call him, Lobo-Zar.
Yeah.
He does kind of look like Lobo. I can understand that. So, and also we should mention that in Man of Steel, the fortress was broken into, Kandor was destroyed, and so Superman has created the new fortress in this issue in the Bermuda Triangle. I almost said the Bahamas.
Stolen idea.
The Bermuda Triangle, not a stolen idea.
Not anymore, anyway.
Anyway, so yeah, that kind of sets up the issue. So I really liked elements of this issue. I liked the scenes where Superman or Clark was sitting there and remembering times with Lois and John, and then you go to the exact same scene, only he's completely alone. And I thought those were really great emotional beats, and just kind of exploring how he was feeling throughout that entire time. And then, of course, he's thrust into a few things with Martian Manhunter, which Chris hated. And
I think it was either Martian Manhunter being controlled a bit, or it all connects to stuff going on in Metropolis.
It's got to be something, because that's not how John Jones normally acts.
Exactly.
That's not his personality, and I don't think Bendis would totally not get his personality. So I definitely think there's something up with that.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But the cliffhanger of the issue, which Jay mentioned, was where the entire Earth has been pulled into the Phantom Zone. That's pretty big, and I don't think they've ever done anything like that quite like that before. And it'll be interesting to see what that brings about, because being in the Phantom Zone, that means everything that's in the Phantom Zone can come to Earth, which is not good.
Not at all.
No.
I want to know how it happened. I want to know who put him there.
Right.
You know, like the most dangerous is probably already on Earth. Well, in the universe, Zod.
Yeah.
Zod and his family are already out there, so like they have to be like the most dangerous things in there.
But who's to say Zod didn't have a huge following there? He can literally build an entire army. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see where it goes from there. And I actually like the fact that they took Man of Steel and broke it into those two stories. Like you said, they pulled the John Lewis story out, put it in Superman, and then you take everything else out and put it in action.
Yeah.
Well, they took the Daily Planet out and put it into action, and the Fires, and put that
in the Fires. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Red Cloud.
Which I like the Action Comics. I like that they're actually making him an investigative reporter again.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that's been missing.
That I'll agree. Yes, the reporter part has been missing.
Yeah, we've been talking about that from Rebirth. That Superman comic book has mainly been about the family, the super family,
right?
And Superman's been missing in there. Like, and Action Comic was very action oriented, which again the name implies. But there was like nothing that had his support cast anywhere.
Right.
They sort of were just in the background. Like, they were like really, really low tier support characters. Like, Man on the Street, number 1,
Right.
Like, yep. That's all they were. And I like that they're actually going back to the Daily Planet. One of our viewers on Frontline Live also mentioned that, it's a far more diverse Daily Planet, which I like.
Yeah.
I like that they're diversifying the Daily Planet. It makes it look more interesting, So they're not changing any of the characters; they're just adding new characters to the Daily Planet, which I thought.
I'm interested in seeing this woman that's trying to take over Metropolis, who clearly is either Red Cloud, the one that's working in the Daily Planet, or she's the twin sister of Red Cloud, and she is actually a good guy, and that's going to be the big twist of fate by the end of Action. Like, yeah. That I forgot her name, that she's going to be like the twin sister of Red Cloud, and she's trying to get Clark because somehow she knows
she's up to something.
Yeah, she's definitely up to something.
Like buying the Daily Planet or something. I think she's
exactly. So either she's
and change it.
Yeah.
Either she's Red Cloud or she's the polar opposite, looking to fight against her.
Or she's who the Red Cloud is working for.
No, that's possible too.
That could be too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of possibilities, and I know some people didn't like that aspect of it, doing the whole gangster thing. But again, as we talked about on Frontline Live, I like that because it goes back to the Intergang roots.
I was just going to say that. That's what I was thinking. I liked Intergang.
And when Superman first started out, he was more of a street level, gang, breaking up gangs and all that. So I have no problem with where they're going with Superman.
No,
I don't like that Bendis is making everybody snarky though. That's my issue.
I think it goes back to the 90s when Superman did have some snark to him, He
did, Superman, but it doesn't feel like the 90s Stark. The 90s Stark. The 90s
I think it is. I think it does. To me, it does. Anyway, to me, it feels like Superman has a sense of humor again, It's always either he's just been so serious lately.
That he has been.
Always been so serious. The only time he ever had fun was when he was with John. Yeah. And now he's like having fun again, like he's making jokes with Batman and the Justice League again, which is what Superman does. He's not that dark and brooding. He's not Henry Cavill. He's not Batman. He is the lighter side. He can crack a joke. He's not Wally West cracking jokes, but he cracks jokes now. And Superman is like the dad who's kind of funny.
Yeah,
that's who
definitely.
Superman is. Like, Wally or Flash is always been like that. Wally as the Flash, because Barry's not a comedian. Wally as the Flash is always like that fun cousin that tells jokes, and Superman has always been like that that dad who's like kind of funny, but at times you're like, okay, Dad, you're dating yourself. You're like, you're too old. You're
right.
Right. And that's what Superman should be. And I think Bendis has that voice for him.
I think he does too, and so far I'm liking what he's doing with the books. I know there's complaints, and I know Chris has some complaints as well, and then you can voice those.
I'm not really. I'm being honest. Like I said on my review, my concern is what seeds he's dropping. Whether it's just to get people to buy the book, which I'm 100% sure that possibly is it. But with the lowest thing for action, the snarky again. I agree with Jay. Superman needed to get a little bit more of the fun loving again because he isn't Batman, and that's how they've been writing him since the beginning of New 52. It's middle ground for me. The stories aren't. I mean, I'm invested kind of in Superman's story because even though it goes back to a villain that Bendis created, fine, because after that arc we'll get something else. With action, though, again, it's another villain that Bendis created, and I like the inner gang side of it, but I don't know. It's not gripping me as like top 5 material yet. It's like middle ground.
Can I interject there?
Yeah.
I like Bendis using his own villains though, because
I want that.
Well, let me explain why I like it though. Because for so long we've all complained that over and over again we're getting the same characters. We're getting
Brainiac one more time.
I remember
Brainiac, Doomsday. Yeah, all his typical villains, Lex Luthor, Brainiac, Doomsday. That's all you get. That's all you're getting over and over again. It's just like Batman with Bane. Yeah, Zod. So I like that they're mixing it up and they're giving us something fresh and something different. And they used to do that a lot more before the New 52. I think
they did. The 90s introduced a lot.
Yeah, especially in the 90s. Yeah, Conduit and different characters like that. Just even if they weren't the best villains in the world, there was still something different that you got.
It was supporting cast.
Yeah.
Jay will remember this. You might not, Brent. I'm not sure. Do you remember Scorn, Jay, when the Superman Blue saga started? That was a character that got out of Kandor, and he hated Superman at first, and then all he wanted to do was be like Superman instead.
Mm-hmm.
Had the suit and everything.
So I like that we're getting some different things here that we haven't gotten in a while. And again, as we talked about, I like that the Superman title is focusing on Superman, and the action title is focusing not just on action, but as Clark as an action reporter.
Which is good because the way they advertised it didn't look like there'd be Superman at all, and that was actually very far from what we got with action. We did get Superman.
You're always going to get Superman in it. But it's going to be more about the Daily Planet. Like, it's going to be focused around the Daily Planet with Superman as a part of it, because Superman is a part of the Daily Planet because, that's the reason why they're still selling newspapers to begin with.
Right.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, Chris. I think early on it looked like it was just going to be mostly Daily Planet stuff and without that element of it. But now it kind of feels, and Jay, you'll agree with this maybe. I can't remember if you watched it or not, Chris, but the first season of Supergirl, where it was like it was because it's based in Catco, but it's very Supergirl-esque. You have all the action and everything. Beyond that, they kind of shifted the focus to the DEO more than Catco, but it's that kind of thing. It's that kind of balance between the reporter side and the investigative reporter side and the actual.
And that's what the new season Supergirl is going to be too.
Yeah,
for those who haven't heard that. But I definitely agree with that. It does have that Supergirl vibe to it, which it was a success for them because they got a second season on a new network, and it's a leading show on their network.
I would just like to poke at DC. You did put John in space for the next year. You could bring back another character.
We don't know how long.
No, I mean Connor. Bring Connor back.
They're definitely going to bring Connor back.
They're slowly bringing them back because we got Tim King back, and then we just got spoiler. We got
okay. We're spoiling stuff in this episode, so we don't have to say it anymore. So just let's put it out there because
we got Bart Allen back in Flash number 50. So I think they're slowly, like I said, bringing back Young Justice.
Yeah.
Core
Yeah,
four.
that's true.
You gotta bring Cassie back too.
Yeah.
Connor and Cassie. Then we're good.
Make sure that her New 52 origin is done. I don't want any of that origin in there. Like,
Yeah.
make her go back to being the the daughter of Zeus.
Yeah. Original, or no, I don't know if it's original or not, but the one that we're familiar with, yeah. All right, so I mean, overall thoughts. I feel like Bendis is taking it in a good direction. We'll see if it continues, and then we get to, of course, we got to touch this before we wrap the Superman part of this up. The cliffhanger at the end of Action.
Which was I'm trying to remember.
Lois.
Oh, Lois. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
How could you bring in Lois? Come on.
I don't know. I was blanking for a second. But yeah, I like that mystery. You know, like I know some people are like, oh, you didn't do that. You know, what's this and what's that? Need to know. Like that's part of the story of mystery. You know.
Yeah.
Again, it goes to investigative journalism. You have to investigate it. I like it. I like the setup. You know, why is she there? What book is she writing? You know. Where's John? Those are questions that I want answered, and I think we're going to get them answered, but just not, you know, in the time that we think we're going to get it. Like I like the build up that we're going to get to that.
Yeah, it's like in this age, people don't want mystery; they want answers immediately, and that just takes the story away. I don't understand that.
Lois is here because of this and this and this and that.
Yeah,
now you just see it all play out. Like no, I want to try to play along while I'm reading it.
Yeah.
And this way, when I get done the next issue, I'm like, okay, I need the next issue right now. Like, you know, come on, give me this issue, people, so I can read it and I can know more. Like that's what you want. You want someone to keep following along and playing along, because then that's when you anticipate a book.
Yeah.
If you know everything and you're just gonna be playing it by numbers, then you don't really anticipate that book.
Right. No, I agree.
Yeah.
And it may just be because we're old, Jay. I don't know. Because Chris flips to the end of the book to see what happens before he reads it.
Oh yeah. Chris loves spoilers.
Yeah.
Chris doesn't care.
I don't. I like the mystery.
Yeah.
I like to figure things out. I like to follow along. I like to be surprised. I like twists and turns and cliffhangers. That's the kind of reader I am. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm right there with you. Like I like to be surprised when I read a book. I like that. Like that's why I don't look through my books either when I'm at the store. Like you know, some people like when Mike does his
haul. Yeah.
He'll be like, you know, look through a couple pages. And I'm like, dude, I can never do that. Like I can never look through a couple pages because then I'm like, I'll spoil in my story. Like I literally do not look at a page. Like even if it's like a double page, like you know, page 2 and 3. I will not look at 3 until I get done 2, you know?
Wow.
Like, I don't even allow my eyes to go over that way.
Yeah. I
get suspense.
Yeah, I do too. The only exception I will say is sometimes if I'm not sure if I'm going to like the art in a book, I will open it up to see the art. And just...
If I'm, like, cautious about it, or someone says, oh, the art in that book's really bad, don't get it. And I'll be like, well, let me check, because, you know, like... Kat and I, we have very different definitions of muddy and and smudgy art. Like we have very different definitions of that. So like if she says, "Oh, the art's really bad, it's very smudgy or you know muddy," I'll be like, "Let me check it because I don't know. Your definition, my definition are not the same." You know, which is true with a lot of people. You know, your definition of something is not the same as another person's.
Right.
And so like I will like maybe look at the interior or like a preview release of it to see, you know, if the book has a preview of it, I might look at it. But like if I know, like if it's a regular book that I'm picking up, like, and I know the artist or whatever, I'm not going to look at that book.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you know it's
if I know who the artist is, like,
right.
I know.
Yeah, it's just like those instances when I'm looking
a new artist.
Yeah, or it's like a book I haven't heard about or I don't know much about, and I'm like, oh, the cover looks interesting, so I'll pick it up and say, oh, you know, that looks cool, or oh no, that's not. That's going right back on the shelf. One of the two, but
yeah. I definitely get where that's going.
Yeah.
And again, that's like the rare exception. But I mean, like Mike does every week. I'm like, I can never do that. Like with like different books, like you'll pick up just like Batman, and be like, yeah, look. Batman, and it was just like a piece of art. I get why he does it for the viewers, but I'm like, for me, I can't spoil myself. Like
Oh
that.
yeah,
I'm
totally.
like, I don't want to see that. Like,
I agree. I totally agree with you. It drives me crazy when he's flipping through it and saying, and he'll say something and then he'll catch himself sometimes, but it's like, oh no, don't stop, Mike.
That's not the page I wanted to look at.
Oh man, I don't get it, but we're a different breed, Jay.
Yeah. Yeah, you.
I came back to you and Jay being a different breed. What'd I miss?
We are a different breed than you.
Yes.
Everybody's
saying about
breed than me.
Yeah, we like mystery and surprises, and you don't.
You would just skip
Actually, excuse me, I told Jay pre-show not to spoil something that he knows something in advance of.
Well, no, I know.
Which I wasn't going to spoil anyway.
Yeah, but you told me you know something, so in my mind it's
that's not a spoiler.
No, I know.
Looking at the back of your book to see the ending of the book, that's a spoiler.
Spoil it for me. I'm saying, but I know.
I know.
You know something now. So it's like, what do you
know that I know that I know that you know that I know.
Exactly. And now my mind is like, what does Jay know that I don't know?
And Jay
is it in the advanced boom? And I don't want to.
Jay can actually keep a secret.
And Chris has to look at the back of the book before he starts reading it. That's what we were talking about.
I haven't done that for a very long time, so Mr. Fowler, all I have to say is...
So, moving on from Superman, did you have any other final thoughts before we move on, Chris?
I want it to be good. I don't want people... The most important thing that I try to get everybody to understand is because everybody thinks I want to hate this because of Bendis. I don't want to hate this. As a matter of fact, I want Superman to still be on top. It took Bendis and Tomasi, Jurgens and Tomasi a long time to build him back up since the New 52 through Rebirth. I want Bendis to not only succeed, but put his he's an amazing writer. I want to see him do to Superman what he did for Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, I agree. So hopefully he'll deliver, and we'll just have to ride it out and see what happens.
As for Tomasi, we missed his writing. Check out Adventures of Superman. Super Sons.
Yeah,
that's right.
Which was actually really good.
Yeah.
I didn't read that yet. Everybody quiet. I don't want to know about that.
No, I'm just saying.
I won't talk about it.
I'm just saying it's good. If you missed his writing on Superman, check that out because it's equally as well.
I will say this, Chris. I think you'll like it.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay.
I'm sure Tevye is jumping for joy.
So moving to the other side, Marvel, Amazing Spider-Man issues 1 and 2, or 802 and 803 by Nick Spencer and Ryan Ottley. I've
Never read
it. I've made no secret, and we'll recap in just a second, but I've made no secret that I absolutely love these 2 issues so far. Like, I as a Spider-Man fan, I'm just like over the moon right now with this book. This is like the best Spider-Man I've read in years, and I'm very happy. So
I agree with that sentiment, but I'm very cautious with it. Mm-hmm. Just because it's Nick Spencer and just because it's Marvel, and Marvel likes to screw with Spider fans.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they take sick pleasure in that.
Kind of twisted that Marvel takes pleasure in fans getting upset.
Yeah, it's kind of twisted.
Just for Spider-Man especially, like, they really enjoy torturing Spider-Man fans. They really do. I mean,
yeah. I don't know what it is.
They purposely do it.
Yeah.
They purposely go out of their way to torture Spider-Man fans, I think. So I'm very cautiously optimistic about it, but I'm loving it. I'm not letting my caution hamper my love for it right now.
Yeah. Right.
Like, I'm allowing the love, but I'm just like, in the back of my head, there's going to be that thing that's going to be like, okay, we know it's great, you know it's good, but if it sucks or they twist it or anything like that, you can just close off and just keep those good issues by themselves. Yeah. You know, like.
Well, I mean, it's interesting where this series has begun, because I feel like, okay, we all gave Dan Slott a hard time, right? But we all praised those last couple of issues, or at least 800. We praised 800 because he was able to wrap things up and able to bring Parker back to
10-year run.
Yeah, he wrapped up a 10-year run, wrapped it up all these little threads, and he somehow brought him back to at least some semblance of a status quo.
Yeah.
And Nick Spencer was able to pick up on that status quo and give us a Spider-Man that felt familiar to longtime fans, but still modern and fresh. And so now we have the classic Parker look in effect, as he's accused of plagiarism now, and that's how this starts off.
Oh my God! Yeah, that was hilarious. I like how they kept that in.
Yeah, I mean, just, you know, and it's playing. I mean, you're not ignoring all the stuff Slott did. You're actually playing right directly from it, which is genius. But you're still taking him right back to the basics. He's sharing an apartment with people. He's got, you know, he's working. He gets fired from his job.
Job problems.
Exactly, and you bring Mary Jane back into it. Yeah. So and we don't know where that's going to go yet, but yeah.
At San Diego Comic-Con, Marvel Live spoke to Nick Spencer, and Nick Spencer said, "This is not a lie. This is not some magic whammy or anything like that. They are together. True love does win out in the end, and that's what it is." He said, "This is
well, they're not marrying them again, so I guess kind of Joe Q gets a little bit of what he wants, you know."
At this point, as long as they're together, I'm happy. I think. Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think it's a nice, happy compromise because you're getting that relationship and you're getting to see them together and that same vibe without that what so-called baggage that Marvel, you know, claims that they had when they were married. So,
yeah, and I think I said this before. I think if Marvel really wants to get back on top and they really want to earn fans back, end this, like, do like a year-long thing with Spider-Man and end it with them getting engaged or getting married. Like, that would blow it. Like, that would blow fans out of the water. You would make the news. You would get fans talking about your books again.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I completely agree. I think if you're going to try to, quote unquote, fix Marvel, you start with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, they started already by bringing back Fantastic Four.
Well, yeah, true. And they've tried, you know, different things like resetting the X-Men and then resetting the Avengers and all that stuff. I know, but I'm just saying, like, Spider-Man's your core character.
Like right now, this currently setting, they already brought back the Fantastic Four, which was a big thing, and now they're fixing Spider-Man. So, like Brand said, this is a big way to earn trust because the majority, let's just face it, we know that Marvel over the years have always said that their Trinity is Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America. But we all know that the big guy is always Spider-Man.
Oh, of course.
I mean, we know that. So, if you want to, like, the majority of Marvel fans are probably Spider-Man fans on some level. And you bring that back, I'm telling you, you're going to earn so many more fans. Their Amazing Spider-Man sales are going to rocket. You just promise that build up to that. The sales are going to go rocketing. You're going to get, you know, more books in that top 5, in that top 10. Trust me, that's the way you have to really do it. If you want to really fix it, promise that and build up to it, you'll have fans buying each and every issue of that for the whole year.
Yeah, and I will say one thing about the whole Dan Slott run. What it did do, even if you hated it, even if you hated every minute of it, the Doc Ock stuff, all the stuff after it, what it did do is make you appreciate the character so that when they did bring this back, everybody was like me, over the moon. Just like, oh my God, Spider-Man's back. It gets you excited about the character again. Sometimes, now granted, Dan Slott's run was incredibly long and maybe it didn't need to happen for that long period of time, but sometimes you need to change something, break something down so that you can bring it back and gain that momentum again.
Reconstruct so you can reconstruct.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they're doing a great job of the reconstruct at this point.
Definitely agree.
And it's also kind of a reconstruct for Spencer. Spencer got a lot of hate for the Captain America, Captain Hydra thing.
Yeah.
So this is earning a lot of favor back with the fans.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's a good thing for him too. That he's doing this, and it would be a real big mistake for him if he screws around and says, "Oh, they're not happening."
Yeah.
If it was all a dream or whatever, he would get a lot of hate for it.
Yeah.
Like on top of the Hydra thing.
Yeah. It's interesting because we've talked about how polarizing Bendis can be, but Nick Spencer, his writing, it's like two different people are writing when it's Nick Spencer. You know what I mean? It's like
you don't know which one you're getting.
Yeah, exactly. Because you have that superior foes of Spider-Man, Nick Spencer. You have he did Ant-Man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the Ant-Man Spencer, you have Morning Glory Spencer, and then you have Captain America Spencer. And it's like, what the heck? Yeah. It's like, I understand.
Political.
Yeah, and I understand that's a side of him. That's a part of his past. He was in politics. Yeah. I get it. But I don't know. It's,
I don't want it in my comics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I'm like, who cares? I don't want it in my comic books.
I agree with you. And I get that, sometimes he wants to have that voice. And everybody, if you're a writer worth your salt, you're going to be able to write different tones, different genres, different different vibes and all that stuff.
Divides.
Yeah. It's so interesting that it's the two extremes, that you can go from this kind of story, the just fun, sometimes borderline and goofy kind of stories, to that hardcore political, just in your face, serious stuff.
Yeah, to deeply philosophical stuff. They get like Morning Glories,
right?
The mystery and the philosophical. So that's why I said I'm cautious about it, because you never know what you're going to get with Spencer.
Right.
So like, I love his writing. I love Morning Glories. Kat introduced me to that book. I'm addicted to it, and then he goes and he hasn't had a book out in over a year. So I'm jonesing for a Morning Glories over here.
And I will say that's a credit to him. That's a credit to his talent. It's just
diverse. Yeah,
it's very diverse. It's just there's certain Spencers I really like, and there's certain Spencers I don't want to touch. So far, this is one I love. So
Chris, far I'm loving this.
Yeah, you haven't said much on this one.
I'm very happy with this run. Michael got back into reading Spider-Man, which that tells you something right there. He stopped reading Spider-Man.
The first time since we've done
One More Day.
The show.
No, it's the first time
since we've done the show.
Yeah.
He's never read it since we've done the show. So that's what I'm saying.
He stopped reading. He was reading Spider-Man before I did the Dark Avenger comic book review. That was going to be one of the books I tried to get him into the show on, and he refused because of One More Day. Yeah. I like what Nick Spencer's doing with Pete and with Mary Jane. I'm glad that he's saying, hey, we're not pulling, it's not going to be one of those things, ha, 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 it's not going to last, Mephisto and, Joe Q and whatever. I like Ryan Ottley's artwork. I sometimes feel like I'm reading Invincible when it's certain characters.
Yeah, very much. MJ is very much like Adam Eve, a lot.
And Pete reminds me a lot of Mark. Yeah.
But see, and just I'll let you continue. But that's one thing I love though, because when I read Invincible, I felt the art. Felt like it was a fusion though. I felt like it was a fusion of Spider-Man and Superboy. That's what it felt like.
Right.
So.
And this is confirming it though.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I think art style.
Oh yeah, I think this is going to be a really great book, and I'm very, especially with the cliffhanger we got with issue number 2. I'm very. Only thing I'm praying, please, no more clones. Ben Reilly's.
Well, technically, it would be a clone.
I know it would be, but maybe they'll fuse back together or something, or maybe it'll disappear.
I think it would definitely be a refusion.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's what it is, like an atom splitting kind of thing.
Unless he pulls off the mask and he's just empty inside, or energy or whatever, or he's a spider underneath that mask,
or he's the chameleon.
He should be Peter Parker's exact double underneath that mask, which would technically make him a clone.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the feedback once we get that reveal. Oh, Spencer's done it again. Clones.
Hey, for one, I have no problem with clones since Ben Reilly is my favorite Spider-Man. Yeah, I know that's sacrilege and all that stuff, but I don't care. Ben is my Spider-Man.
I love Ben Reilly. I hate his book.
Oh yeah, his current book is not that good, but I'm talking about Ben Reilly's Spider-Man.
Yeah,
He brought the fun back to the book because when he came, Spider-Man was a very different character.
Definitely.
They made Peter very dark, and when Ben came, he was fun again. So I got that love for him, and then Marvel has not done that much with Parker since then, so nothing that would really make me love the character like that again. So I'm hoping I can get back to Peter, but it definitely technically is a clone, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out. Like, how will they have to tell the Lizard, about the identity? Like, will Connors have to know about the identity of Peter Parker to help him reverse it?
Right,
because it's been reverse engineered. They're going to have to they're going to reverse engineer the reverse engineering to turn them back. Like,
that's not confusing. We'll see how he handles it, but no. So overall, I think we're enjoying Superman and Spider-Man again, and that's a good thing. That's all I can say. I will say, out of the two, I am enjoying Spider-Man more than Superman right now, just because I think we had good Superman before this, so it's just continuing it. Where, like you said, this is the first time in years that we've had this level of Spider-Man, so I think that's why I'm enjoying it more, because we have not had that. We're starving for this right now. Right.
Where Superman, I feel like we've had the last couple of years of good Superman books.
Right. I completely agree with that. Chris?
Definitely. 100% agree with that.
All right, so maybe we'll revisit these titles like either the next arc or maybe like 10 issues in.
There's we'll have to do something like that because Bendis has already said that Superman, at least Action Comics, is a 12-issue arc. So maybe halfway through, we can 6, 7, somewhere around there. Maybe halfway through Action at least. Yeah,
maybe if something major happens, we'll talk about revisiting it. Otherwise, we'll just pick an issue and say, okay, we're going to talk about it then.
You know, a good idea for listeners also, and I was just thinking about this when you said this. If you'd like to hear us discuss a specific book, a specific thing going on, comments are always welcome.
Oh, absolutely.
Or 2 books like this.
Yeah, like this. Yeah. No, I mean spotlight like 1 or 2 series. Like The Flash just had the Flash Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving round. I'm sure we're going to do the Hanna-Barbera DC again. There's the amalgamation that's going to be going on with Infinity War.
Yeah, the warps.
And gals. Yeah, if you guys and gals would like to hear us talk about something specifically, whether it be a comic series and a little event series like those, let us know in the comments. I mean, Jay reads everything. Brant and I try to read a moderate amount of books. Mm-hmm. I mean, if it's for a show, we obviously read it for sure. But
no, that's great. Absolutely. We're always open to suggestions. If there's something you really want to hear us discuss, let us know.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be limited to comics. We're going to do the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, just the first episode, because Chris would kill us if we try to make him watch more.
We're not going to do the whole series. But I mean, something like that. If you have something, but it has to be within the realm of Zone 4.
I would love to do. I mean, I'm going to be doing the Death of Superman. Jay's seen it, Brant's seen it. We definitely have to try to find a way. I mean, I know that Media Madness already. You guys had.
I'll do another Zone. I'll do Zone 4 and Death of Superman. I can talk about that movie a lot. So
cool. Yeah, and also in the future, we're going to try to do some more crossovers with Media Madness, or some crossovers with Media Madness, where we, especially in the instances that Chris is not interested in the movie or something. Of course, Chris is always welcome. You're always welcome to join us too.
Of course. If I really, there's a few movies that I know you guys want to see that I don't personally want to see, but then there are movies like that I've seen on the list of queued movies for the year that I'm like, I definitely want to watch that. So,
but in the realm of Zone 4, it'll probably just remain like comic related stuff.
Right.
So that'll make more sense. So,
what's funny though? I will point this out. I did give Brant a little bit of heat because he didn't put the Meg in because he knew I wanted to see that movie. But scary enough, I've seen people sharing pictures of like the things they had in the movie theaters, but I've heard the talk of the movie has just gone. It's like the movie doesn't exist.
Well, let's say this, Jay. If you guys decide to cover the Meg on Media Madness, let Chris know.
Well, I haven't watched the movie yet.
I know our schedule. When's it out?
I don't know. That's the thing. Right? They stopped. Yeah, I think it's out already, and it just fell off of everybody's talk.
It's not on our list. We have all the way up until I think October or something. Figure it out, and it's not on our
list. It's releasing this Friday. So as this episode airs, yeah.
Yeah, it's not on our list. We have stuff coming up that I'll talk about later on, but we don't have that coming up in our list.
If I get it, I might wait. If the hype for it died this quick and it's not even out yet, that has me worried that we're going to get something close to a Deep Blue Sea rehash. So
if we hear it's really good, Chris, maybe we can do a Chris and Brand show or something on it.
Oh, that's one thing we definitely got to work on is getting a Chris and Brand show back off the ground a little bit. That'd be cool. Without doing like a whole, I think we burnt ourselves out with Iron Fist. That's what it was. No, it was the Defenders. No, it was the Defenders. I'm sorry. It was the Defenders.
It's because you've done so many of them.
Yeah.
And so you put it on yourself that you have to do the whole thing instead of just watching it and then coming back like the next week and doing another one. Like that's what we do. Like, or we'll watch for Media Madness. We'll watch like a whole season and then we'll just discuss it instead of watching it. Like you had the pressure of watching it live and having to commentate on it live the whole.
Yeah, and
right. We try to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Classic.
That's a lot. That's a lot of pressure to put on you. You know, because when you're commentating, it's hard to commentate. Because you got to commentate, you got to read the things, you got to pay attention to what you're watching, you got to know.
Oh yeah, Brand hates me for that because I like to kind of focus on the show,
and then you got that dead air.
Yeah, and he zones out on me, and then I'm like,
and it's up to you to perform the whole time.
I think that whoever created the live viewing of movies and stuff on YouTube, it was a good idea, but unless you've maybe watched
it's a good idea. Yeah, if you've seen it it once before,
reactions it's just no good because most of the time then it's a person just sitting there very quiet and you get the it's better to do a highlight reel of reactions instead of a whole hour to 2 hours.
Or at least if one of you have seen it, then you can actually talk through it while the other person is watching.
Yeah,
at least that way. Because I know probably for the 25th anniversary of the Power Rangers, Kat would probably watch that, and I will probably watch it.
After seeing pictures from Jason David Frank, I might watch it myself.
I'm definitely watching it. But we're definitely going to commentate on that too.
Breaking the fourth wall here, I guess. I don't know. But Chris and I actually admitted to each other that a couple of those episodes of Defenders, I think it was, we had both watched before because we were getting tired of it too. And I think I told Chris, I was like, I got to be honest with you, man. I watched these 2 episodes already. And Chris like, are you kidding? I did too.
Yeah, it was the middle 2. We agreed to leave the last 2, so I left the last 2. Yeah.
It was funny. And then I kind of admitted to him, which I don't think I've admitted to the rest of you yet, that way back at the very beginning of Media Madness when we were doing the old style, when we did Frozen, I actually went ahead and watched it first because I didn't want to, because it was the same thing because we were going to be talking about it and I was like, well, I'm not even going to be able to follow along because so it was like Ghostbusters I already seen. So
I think you, me, and Kat had watched that, and it was Chris had not watched it. Cindy, I think, was there watching it.
Yeah,
but she didn't talk on it. I think she just watched it to watch it, and that was fun when we did those. But again, when you have the mixture of it, it's easier for everyone to talk.
Right.
And the more people you have, the better it is. So it's easier to have that conversation while you're commentating.
Exactly.
But it is hard to commentate and especially when you're doing it live, because when you're in your studio, all you have to do is just talk, and you've already worked on, when they do it for the DVDs and all, these are people who've already worked it, they've seen it, they've done all that stuff. So all they have to do is really just say, oh, this is when we did this and this is when we did that. But as a viewer, you're like, oh yeah, this is a good part, blah 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 blah. You got to do a different type of commentary.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we'll see what comes up for us in the future. And again, have any ideas, shoot them to us. But that's going to wrap up our show. So it's time to talk about what's coming up, coming out, and going on. Chris, we'll start with you this time.
Video on Brooklyn Boys is already up now. There should be 2 others.
Goat Cherry.
Goat
Cherry.
I don't know why I heard that.
Goat Cherry. Yeah.
I heard Goat Cherry. Yes, I did.
Cherry. That's the name of the episode. Zone 4426, Goat Cherry. Figure it out. Go ahead.
But yeah, there's that. There should be. This is a week after we're recording this. There might be another one of the Oreo taste test. I'm not sure. There's a few videos. Just go check out Brooklyn Boys. Check out my channel. Maybe there'll be a Chris and Brad show soon. Dark Avenger podcast. I'm working on it. It's just very hectic over here at my house. And at some point, Brett and I have another show idea that we wanted to drop on Comic Frontline. I don't know when we're going to do it. I just know we're very busy right now.
2021. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, dear Christ. Well, then you have that long to wait. Other than that, Last Ember Press, 529 Studios, Celestial Falcon issue 2 in the works as we speak.
All right, Jay.
Check out comicfrontline.com. Check out Frontline Live every Tuesday night at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time.
Spoiler alert.
What?
Spoiler alert.
I was like, what did he say? At 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time every Tuesday night on YouTube at youtube.com/comicfrontline, where you can also find Zone 4 episodes now again. And check out Media Madness. This Wednesday will be the singing challenge, where Kat and Jeremy will be defeated by me once again because they just don't have enough time. They just don't get enough of me beating them, I think.
The singing challenge. What is this now?
It's where you basically sing a line, or you say or sing a line from a song and they had to guess the song. I doubled the second places list last time. Like, Kat thought she was smart in doing some stuff, and I doubled their scores. Not to brag or anything, but I did offer not to be, and this would just be like a judge between them or whatever, and then he said no. So they want me in there. So if they lose, it's their own them.
I'm about to check this one out.
You can join us if you want.
We'll see. Yeah.
More the merrier. It'll be better. But yeah, that would be, I think it's this Wednesday or this Thursday. But this Wednesday, for sure, it will also be a Shattered Grid episode. So that will be discussing the penultimate issue of Shattered Grid, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 30. Check that out. Last week I did Go-Go Power Rangers number 12, which was their finale of Shattered Grid for that book. Also, this goes up on the 10th, so I want to say happy birthday to my nephew. He's my second oldest nephew. I got 4 nephews, so it's my second oldest nephew. So I want to say happy birthday to him.
Awesome.
My godchild also. So happy birthday. Follow me on Twitter at Comic Book Theater minus the R. So take off the R, and you got my theater. You got my Twitter account, and check out Frontline Reviews every Friday on comicfrontline.com, where a group of us review a bunch of different books from a bunch of different companies, and they're very short reviews, so you don't have to read 5 pages worth of a review. They're very short reviews. You can get a whole bunch of books in there and see what we think about them.
Yep, and you can check out my review of Fantastic Four #1 this Friday today. Now, when you say this Wednesday for Media Madness, do you mean the 8th or do you mean the 15th?
The 15th.
Okay, I can't do it then. I have a prior.
I don't know if it is Wednesday or if it's that Thursday. Okay. I don't know what day it is, but it's that week.
Okay.
Because this one is the one that it goes up before the show is Orange is the New Black. So.
Okay. If it's the 16th, I might be able to. 15th, I definitely cannot. Okay. So let me know later. All right. So for me, everything on my channel, Brant Fowler. You can check it out. Monday Musings and Brant Fowler across social media. You can check out my Brandt's weekly comic rankings on Comic Frontlines, usually on Tuesdays, sometimes on Wednesdays, depends on scheduling and all that good stuff. And, of course, right now, until August 15th, we have a Kickstarter running for Lil Ember, Spark of Life. So go check it out, all ages adventure, as Ember stumbles into a cave and makes a shocking discovery and makes some new friends along the way. Friends that Chris got to name. So go check it out on Kickstarter, kickstarter.lastemberpress.com.
And the Kickstarter just lost a backer because they found out I named the friends.
Yep,
I pulled my back.
I knew it was Jay all along.
It was Jay all along, yes. All right. So, and of course, everything is zone4podcast.com. All right. So, that's our show. We'd like to thank the official bands of Zone 4, the Raywall Band, and Society's Plague that you hear on the show each and every episode. We are also proud members of the Comics Podcast Network. You can find us on comicspodcasts.com, along with all those other shows that I told you to watch after us, but we're better. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Anyway, you can also find us on Comic Frontline, Stitcher, iTunes, and of course, zone4podcast.com. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions for us, including what you'd like us to read or watch and talk about, send those to zone4podcast@gmail.com, and whatever flavors of Oreos you want Chris to try in Brooklyn Boys.
And no dark web, please.
Yeah, no dark web, please. But, as always, thanks for listening. You are now leaving the fantastic Zone 4.
Pineapple Underpants.
What?
This is only a test for the X-Men.
Crap. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Crap.
I thought it all went quiet, and then I saw a pop-up, so I thought it ended. So that'll be an edit. Hopefully I remember. Anyway.
Pineapple Underpants.
What? I was on this show for the last 3 hours. I don't know what the hell that connects to.
My son has created a song called Pineapple Underpants. So that popped into my head.
That's
Okay.
the name of this episode
Goofy,
is now. The
Goofy.
name of this episode now is Goat Cherry Pineapple Underpants. What?
That actually sounds like a good title.
I will get I'll get a notification just like I did last week from YouTube saying this is not suitable for all viewers.
Oh god! No, it's one of those things from the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. My son now is Tommy's running around going Pineapple Underpants. He made up a song for it. I'm like, why? Why did you make this song up? Why? Goofy wears Pineapple Underpants. It's great.
That would be hilarious if it had any tie to the rest of the show. I would totally name it Pineapple Underpants.
This has been a Gonzo Goose production.